Chairs No Waiting, episode number 734, Mayberry in My Mailbox. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at WeaversDepartmentStore.com. Drop by over at Weavers and check out all the great things they got over there. Folks, they have got Miracle Salve. That's right, Miracle Salve. You can get your own Miracle Salve. It'll help your hands if they feel like they're dry as dust. And it's also possible that it cures spring itch and crow's feet and all kinds of other things. Go and check it out. While you're there, you might want to pick up some Mayberry Man stuff. Maybe you haven't seen the Mayberry Man movie, or maybe you have and you just want a cap or a thing. Head over and check out all the cool stuff over at WeaversDepartmentStore.com. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners like you. I feel like this is a PBS station. The executive producer for episode number 734 is Dave Calroni. The Patreon patron of the week is Brian Saul, and the High Sheriff of Two Chairs is Chris Merrill. So thank all of these folks for helping support this podcast and helping me pay for all this stuff. Thank you. Thank you as being here as well. And who am I? I'm Alan Newsom, the host of Two Chairs No Waiting. I've been doing this since 2008. Oh my goodness. 2008 is when I started doing this podcast. It's really kind of hard for me to believe, but I've been doing this and just loving it the entire time. So I hope you guys will continue to just come and enjoy yourself and just have fun here in Mayberry along with me. It's just every week I get to spend time with you guys talking about the Andy Griffith Show and just all the cool things that I've been able to do over the years or talk to over the years. And I'm a huge fan, just like you. And so it is just it's so nice to be able to just come in here and spend time talking about the Andy Griffith Show and all the, just the really fun things all related to it. Right. So in this particular case, I actually got in my mailbox, which was, I just still I can barely believe that it happened, because it was just so nice that somebody would take time to do this. But I found an article that was in our mailbox. I don't remember what day it was, someday mid last week, I think it was. I went out to the mailbox, and in there I found a surprise. Someone had placed a copy of the weekend section from the Huntsville Times from Friday, February the 17th, 2021. So for 2021. And the story that was featured on the cover of that particular one was The Andy Griffith Show Inspires New Film Starring Alabama Man. Oh, ooh, that's me. Yeah, well, anyway, that was pretty cool. I asked Jan if she knew, that's my wife, if you don't know, if she'd known, if somebody was said, hey, I'm going to drop a newspaper article off for you. And she said she didn't. So, really, I'm very thankful for this, because, wow, somebody held on to this paper, this article, for almost a year and a half and thought enough to take time to bring it to my house and leave it in my mailbox so to make sure I had a copy of it. And wow, if that's not a Mayberry thing to do for somebody, I don't know what is. So as you've heard there, the article is really about Mayberry Man, right? So it's a really nice article. It does talk about me in here as well. So I wanted to read it to you. I think you're going to enjoy it as we read through it. So I'm going to get a little background music of our, let's do this one. From our VW Boys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, VWBoys.com. Thank you, Tim White. He gave me permission to do these things. So what I wanted to do is just go through this article and let you hear about it, because, I mean, really, how nice that somebody would bring this to me. It's a very nice article. It does talk about me some, but it also talks about Mayberry Man, the movie, and it may be things you don't know about Mayberry Man, okay? So let's go with it. I've got pictures and stuff I can show you about it. So This is the article. It's written by Matt Wake. Again, it came out in December the 17th, 2021, so almost a year and a half ago. Andy Griffith was the TV dad for millions of viewers, but he was Dixie Griffith's actual father. At home in real life, Dixie says the beloved actor was a hands-on dad. We had so much fun. Griffith's family activities included Winnebago motorhome trips, and motorcycle riding. He loved to tinker in his workshop, and he loved to garden, Dixie recalls. She also has fond memories of her dad's co-star, including Don Knotts and Alabama native George Lindsay, and their families coming over to visit at Griffith's San Fernando Valley, California home. He and Dad were truly friends until the end, she says, speaking of Don Knotts. Dixie was just 1 year old when the Andy Griffith Show debuted in October of 1960, starting the sitcom's 8-year run on CBS. Griffith's deft and warm portrayal of Andy Taylor, the kind and true, level-headed sheriff of the fictional Mayberry, North Carolina, made him one of TV's most endearing stars ever. The show's menagerie of small-town life, archetypes, and caricatures, with Griffith's straight man, sheriff, keeping the show from spinning into a screwball comedy, have resonated with viewers for over 60 years. Decades of syndication have made it a show of multiple generations that have grown up with it. A new independent film entitled Mayberry Man taps into the Andy Griffith Show legacy and its passionate fans base. The film is a fish-out-of-water comedy about a cocky, Ferrari-driving movie star named Chris Stone, played by Brett Varvel, the fictional son of former Andy Griffith Show guest star. After Stone gets busted for going 105 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, he gets sentenced to represent his father at Mayberry Fest and is immersed among super fans and tribute artists portraying Andy Griffith Show characters. Stone connects with the show's spirit and annex and romantic subplot, and life lessons ensue. A Huntsville resident, Alan Newsom, that's me, has a key role in Mayberry Man as tribute artist portraying Andy Griffith Show character Floyd Lawson, a.k.a. Floyd the Barber. The role wasn't much of a stretch for Newsom. An electrical engineer by trade, he spends about 15 weekends a year doing appearances as Floyd as a tribute artist. Just as there were tribute artists for musicians like Michael Jackson or Elvis Presley, there are tribute artists for Tim and TV characters as well. In addition to taking on the appearance of Floyd, memorably played by the original actor Howard McNear, Newsom does an uncanny impression of the character's quirky diction. A native of Henniger, Alabama, a small town where I grew up watching the Andy Griffith Show. It says, I'm having to do this in third person, so it's a little hard. This is talking about me. But he made a deeper connection to the show later in life while attending Auburn University. Each school night, after the stress of studying engineering all day, he'd decompress by watching the Andy Griffith Show reruns. The more I watched, the more I enjoyed it, Newsom tells AL.com. The older I got, the stories were different to me. And there was enough realism in the Andy Griffith Show to remind you of growing up in a small town in the South. My all-time favorite episode, at least one of them, includes 1964's The Pickle Story, he said. Newsom began attending Mayberry-centric events, and he became friends with David Browning, who does a tribute act to Barney Fife. He was the Mayberry deputy, if you didn't know. The bumbling, self-serious deputy sheriff, an iconic role by comic genius Don Knotts. One day at lunch, Browning and Newsom started talking, and Newsom started imitating Floyd. Browning was impressed and convinced Newsom to come to Mayberry Days in Mount Airy, North Carolina, festival that celebrates the Andy Griffith Show. He asked Alan Newsom to come as Floyd the Barber tribute artist, and that was in 1994, Newsom says. And then after I did that one time, I started getting calls, and people wanted me to come and appear at events, and I've been doing it ever since. When he was first honing his act, Newsom tried practicing in front of a mirror, but that didn't work for him because he found it made him behave differently than he would otherwise. So he started videotaping himself instead to get the facial expressions and the postures and the movements of McNear as Floyd down correctly. It's a lot of fun, Newsom says, of being Floyd tribute artist. You get to watch people smile and bring back memories, or just add memories that people have of watching the Andy Griffith Show. Or maybe it was the people they watched the show with. His tribute work has allowed him to meet some of the show's actual stars, including Don Knotts. He was a very nice man, very gracious, Newsom says. I mean, he's Don Knotts, and we're just tribute artists. And to watch him interact with everyone was amazing to see. Knotts also was known for his portrayal of Three's Company as apartment manager Ralph Furley, and Mr. Knotts passed away in 2006 at the age of 81. And yes, Newsom has heard the song Floyd the Barber by the legendary grunge band Nirvana. It's kind of dark, almost like a Sweeney Todd version of Floyd, Newsom says with a chuckle. I should have chuckled, shouldn't I? I should have read it like that. In 2018 at Mayberry Days, Newsom met Stark Howell, the son of actor Hoke Howell, who guest starred as Army veteran Dud Wash on a few Andy Griffith Show episodes. Stark had made his own mark in show business as an animation artist with TV credits including Nickelodeon's Hey Arnold and Disney's Recess. Stark didn't understand that as a son of an actor that had been on the Andy Griffith Show, why anyone would want to see him at Mayberry Days, Newsom says. And so he was reluctant to come. And when he actually did come to Mount Airy and saw Mayberry Days and was part of it, he actually said, I think there's a story here. At one point during the event, Stark approached Newsom and asked if he wrote a screenplay, would Newsom consider reprising Floyd and act in it? I didn't really think anything would ever come of it, but of course I said yes. Turns out that Howell, the Santa Clarita resident, was inspired enough by his own Mayberry Days experience, which included appearing in the parade, that he actually wrote that screenplay. And after some online crowdfunding, Mayberry Man was shot in September of 2020 in Danville, Indiana, mostly, with some additional locations, including Mount Airy, North Carolina, Andy Griffith's hometown. In addition to being shown in a handful of theaters that were booked based on fans' interest, Mayberry Man is available for rent or purchase on Amazon Prime. Well, that's a good little marketing thing to throw in there. Or a DVD from Weaver's Department Store. I knew there was a lot of love for the show, Howell says. But after I got to know some of the fans, that made me want to do something to give back. Because I just felt like I could write a screenplay about a lot of what I experienced at Mayberry Days, and they would really enjoy it. The movie is more about fans than it is about the show and how the show has affected fans over the years. For Hal, who also directed Mayberry Man, it was crucial the film struck a tone that was true to the original show. Through Mayberry Days, he connected with Dixie Griffith, who became one of the film's executive producers, a longtime Colorado resident. Dixie read the script and felt that it was in tune with the masterwork of her father, also known for his legal drama, Matlock. Andy had passed away in 2012 at the age of 86. This is a sweet, beautiful story, Dixie says, of Mayberry Man. To me, it's an opportunity to keep that legacy alive in a way and also keep that huge Mayberry family intact. I think people crave that sort of comfort. The world outside may be kind of crazy and falling apart, but people in Mayberry are still holding it together. So that is the article that we were able to have delivered right into my mailbox. If you're watching the actual video version of the podcast, I've been showing pictures from behind the scenes that happened during the filming of Mayberry Day. So you might want to head over to YouTube and watch this if you're just listening. You might enjoy watching these, seeing some of the pictures. So, folks, that is the story that was delivered to me in my mailbox by some kind person that I honestly do not know who it was at this point. But thank you, whoever it was, because it was very nice of you to do. It was so nice. And wow, a year and a half after the article came out, you still had it. That is humbling. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed hearing about it. Now, the thing I did want to go ahead and mention is this year, Mayberry Man has been nominated by the International Christian Visual Media. So that's the ICVM. This year is the 50th annual Crown Awards, and it's not nominated, I should say. Mayberry Man is a finalist in the awards for Best Comedy. So we're up against a movie called For Profit and one called Game Changer, Stealing the Show, The Sound of Violet, and of course Mayberry Man. Those are the nominees for the Crown Award for Best Comedy. So coming up in just a few weeks, actually May 23rd, Rik Roberts, who played Barney, and myself are going to be able to head down to Orlando, and actually as part of the Crown Awards, we're going to be presenting a award. There's several categories for awards. You can go and check it out. If you look for the Crown Awards, you'll be able to find this. But there's several categories that they will be presenting awards for, and one of those categories, just to let you know, is called the Best Actor in a Lead Role. And I'm a little partial. I don't know if he would win, but Brett Varvel, who plays Chris Stone, is nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role for Running the Bases. So I don't know if you've seen Running the Bases, but it's a great movie that my friend and the star of Mayberry Man is nominated for. I hope it'd be awesome if we got to present that one. And if he won, it would be absolutely amazing. So that would be, and if he didn't win, it would still be fun to be able to get up there and cheer him on. So we'll be there cheering for him either way. But we're really looking forward to that. We're heading to see all that in the coming few weeks here. So just be watching and see what comes out here during all this stuff. Should be a lot of fun. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you're bored out of your mind with some of the Mayberry Man stuff, we're going to be doing more Mayberry Man things in the coming weeks. I'll be doing things from time to time about it because the Mayberry Man movie is currently out. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. You can buy a DVD from Weavers. And a Mayberry Man series has been filmed. It's complete now and will be coming out hopefully sometime this fall. So fingers crossed. We'll keep you informed about that as well. It's 5 episodes. It's not like a 13 or so long, but it's still 5 episodes. I am so humbled. I got to be in a movie. I got to be a part of a series. So whether it gets picked up or not, I'm blessed beyond measure to have gotten to be any part of Mayberry as a fan, just like you, to have gotten to do this stuff. Wow, it's fun. So, hey, keep your fingers crossed. I think the Crown Awards may be televised. And if they are, you'll see me and Barney present an award. Me and Rik Roberts. We'll be dressed as Barney and Floyd to do the presentation as well. So it should be a lot of fun. We should have a good time. I'm basically just flying down there, doing that, and then we're flying back the next day. So it's a down and back trip, but that will interfere with the podcast because it's on a Tuesday night, the 23rd of May. So kind of start looking around for the 50th Annual Crown Awards and see if it's going to be on TV somewhere. You might be able to watch it streaming or something. All right, so let's go to have some more fun. Let's do some trivia. What do you think? Trivia. Now, these trivia questions, guys, are going to be like the ones we did before. These were the ones I did recently for the Mayberry Lucy Day up in Granville, Tennessee. So we'll do a few of these questions. I've got a lot. So we'll probably, what time is it? We'll might only do about 5 of them because we're going to do them the way we did before to make it easy and fun for you because I want it to be fun. I'm going to read the question. And if you can get it right, it'll be worth 2 points. Then I'll give you a little bit of time to have done it. And then I'm going to give you a multiple choice. And if you get it using the multiple choice, then you get 1 point. Okay, so you got a chance to get 2 points or 1 point per question. So you ready? Everybody ready? Let me see where my chat room is here. I'll pull them up so I can see what their answers are. All right, so here we go, guys. Question number 1. Question number 1 from the Mayberry Lucy Day Mayberry Trivia Contest. Number 1, what was Opie's bird's name? What was Opie's bird's name? Not the multiple birds, but the one bird. He had a bird. What was its name? So it's not the 3 birds, it's the one bird. He had one bird. What was its name? Okay. What was Opie's bird's name? Okay, so you've had a chance to think about it. You can put it in. Now we're going to pause. Now, it'll be worth 1 point now. So that was worth 2 if you got it already. And now, what was Opie's bird's name? Was it A, Tweety? Was it B, Polly? Was it C, Dickie? Or was it D, Sammy? So was it Tweety, Polly, Dickie, or Sammy? Opie's bird's name. Folks in the chat room have gotten it right. Looks like a lot of them got 2 points, as a matter of fact. All right, so the answer is, what was Opie's bird's name? The correct answer would be Dickie. It's Dickie. That's the one Aunt B let loose, remember? All right. Question number 2. Number 2 for 2 points. What vegetable did Aunt B make Opie plant when he was barred from the courthouse? What vegetable did Aunt B make Opie plant when he was barred from the courthouse? Okay, so it's worth 2 points if you can get it without the multiple choice. So I'll give you a little story here. Dixie Griffith told us that when she used to get in trouble or just have chores around the house, her dad made her do gardening. So I'm wondering if that's where they got the idea to do this, or maybe the opposite is true. This gave him the idea to make her do that. So what vegetable did Aunt B make Opie plant when he was barred from the courthouse? All right, 2 points is over. Here's the multiple choice. Was it carrots, spinach, broccoli, or potatoes? Carrots, spinach, broccoli, or potatoes? What vegetable did Aunt B make Opie plant when he was barred from the courthouse? The answer is spinach. Spinach is the answer. So you either got 1 or 2 points there. So you may either have 0, 2. There's lots of different options. You could have had up to 4 points. Up to 4 points. How about that? Or none. Number 3. In the episode, A Feud is a Feud, what are the names of the feuding families? For 2 points. In the episode, A Feud is a Feud, what were the names of the feuding families? All right. You've had a chance there. Okay, so we're pausing. So now, if you got them, what were the name of the feuding families? If you already got it, it's worth 2 points. So here's the multiple choice. Was it the Hatfields and the McCoys? Was it the Johnsons and the Taylors? Was it the Hollisters and the Campbells? Or was it the Wakefields and the Carters? So Hatfields and McCoys, Johnson and Taylors, Hollisters and Campbells, or the Wakefields and the Carters? Okay, so what is the answer? It's worth 1 point now because it was multiple choice time. So the answer is, why are you shooting at one another? Oh, because we're feuding. Yeah, but why are you feuding? Because he's a Wakefield. So it's the Wakefields and the Carters. The Wakefields and the Carters is the correct answer. All right, number four. In the episode Barney's First Car, what old trick was used to make a car purr like a kitten? In the episode Barney's First Car, what old trick was used to make the car purr like a kitten? Okay, it's worth 2 points. It's worth 2 points if you know the answer. Okay, last chance. What old trick was used to make a car purr like a kitten? Okay, you got to be pretty specific. You can't just say part of it. All right, so here's the multiple choice. Was it A, change the spark plug to make it purr like a kitten? Was it B, sawdust in the transmission and the differential? Was it C, tuned up the engine? Or was it D, change the oil to make it purr like a kitten? So what old trick was used to make a car purr like a kitten? Change the spark plugs, sawdust in the transmission and the differential, tuned up the engine, or change the oil. Okay. All right. So the answer, which is kind of going to hurt you, I'm sorry, sawdust would not have been a good enough answer for 2 points. You'd have had to have more specifics. And it wasn't just sawdust, because you can't just put sawdust anywhere. It's got to be in the transmission and the differential. So if you didn't say differential and transmission, you probably got 1 point because you would have gotten it on the multiple choice. Okay. All right. So the answer is B, sawdust in the transmission and the differential. Okay. So, that's a little hard. That was a little bit hard, but at least you got 1 point. You got 1 point. And our final question for tonight, whenever you're listening. Why did Barney's landlady, Miss Mendelbright, want him to leave? Now, this one's a tough one, too. So you got to get it exactly right. So, again, it's 2 points if you can get it exactly right. Why did Mrs. Mendelbright want him to leave? Okay, there was actually 2 reasons. I'll go ahead and tell you that. There's 2. Why did Barney's landlady, Mrs. Mendelbright, want him to leave? Okay, so if you can get them, go ahead and write them down or say them in your head. This is all for pride anyway. So, all right. So that's it. Stop for the 2 point question. Now here comes the multiple choice. Why did Barney's landlady, Mrs. Mendelbright, want him to leave? Was it A, he was too noisy and had too many friends over? B, he cooked in his room and used a too high wattage light bulb? C, he sang all night and kept her awake. Oh, that would definitely have done it. Was it D, he didn't pay his rent on time? Well, that could have been it too. Okay. So that one's probably not it because I told you there's 2 answers. He didn't pay his rent on time. So that one's probably not it. So there's actually only 3 chances. Okay. Was he too noisy and had too many friends over? He cooked in his room and used a too high wattage light bulb? Or he sang all night and he kept her awake? The answer is what? You got it? All right. So the answer would be B. He cooked in his room and he used a 2 high wattage light bulb. Bulb snatcher. Okay. All right. So that is the answer. So, okay, that was 5 questions. You had an opportunity to get up to 10 points. By the way, if you get the 2-point question, you don't also get 1 point for getting it during the multiple choice. That's not how it works. You either get the 2 or 1. So it's not worth 15 points. There's not 15 total. It's only 10 total. Okay. So just making sure everybody's got how the rules work. It's 10 points total for those 5 questions. Okay. All right. So I hope you did good. Some folks did pretty well. It's a 60-watt light bulb. You know, you're not supposed to have a 60-watt bulb. So we got folks who gotten 8 points, 9 points. Somebody got 8.5 points. I'm not sure how they got 8.5. I guess they got half of that one. They had a too high voltage bulb, maybe, but didn't remember cooking in the room. They're giving themselves a 0.5. Hey, this is all for fun, and just hopefully it is fun. It makes me laugh. Anytime I get to read these trivia questions, I always laugh and enjoy it and smile and have a good time. So hopefully that's what it does for you as well. Like I said, just spending some time in Mayberry every day or as often as I can, it helps relieve a lot of stress to me. You know, even just getting on here and talking about this with you guys, it makes me smile, makes me laugh. I think about these. Well, you know, when I ask about why did Barney's landlady, Mrs. Murderbright, want him to leave, I'm seeing the whole scene in my head of her coming in there, Mr. Fife, you know, getting on to him, bulb snatcher, all that. So it's just it's so fun for me to do that. So anyway, I hope it's fun for you. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about the Mayberry Man, and not only that, but the fact that somebody was nice enough to take time to bring this newspaper article and leave it in my mailbox for me. That was very kind. So if you were the one that did it and you get to see the podcast or hear it, thank you. And let me know it was you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, guys, that is about all I've got for us tonight. Think I didn't have anything else. Let me look. Nope. I think that's all I was going to tell you guys about tonight. So, hey, again, wonderful to spend time here in Mayberry with you. I love talking to you. I would love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415. Let me know what you think about the show. Think about an episode or whatever. If you've got some Mayberry thoughts, share them with us all, because we would love to hear from you. You hear from me all the time. So you can call me, 888-684-8415. You can email me at floyd@imayberry.com, or, head over to twochairsnowaiting.com, and all that information's on almost every episode. You'd be able to find it in the show notes. So just head over, and I would love to hear from you. Until we meet again right here in Mayberry, have a great Mayberry week, and we'll see you right here. Good night, everybody.